I'm gonna start getting this aircraft set up. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the batteries. APU master. And then start. And then wait for a minute while that starts up.
Does it cost to create a server?
Not on Discord. There's certain paid features, but I haven't figured out exactly what they are. What aircraft? I'm flying a Tiger Air. That'll be interesting. Tiger Air flying into PNG. Should be fun.
I didn't know they did that route.
Yeah. Nor did I. I didn't know Tiger was even flying still. Last I heard, they're not flying anymore.
So there was an airline, boutique airline. They're a real small niche airline. They were supposed to start coming to this month, but they delayed beginning their service. And
Fair enough.
They fly the PC-12 and the Beach 350.
Interesting. Okay, so the AP is fired up. Now the screens are coming on. Now I gotta go up here and start aligning the IRS, because that's gonna take 7 minutes to align.
The Internal Revenue Service?
Yeah, funny. How much fuel do I have on board? 9.6 tons. You reckon that's enough to get an A320 across from Cairns to Moresby?
9.6?
Yeah, 9.6. It's like 2 hours.
9.6 tons. Are we empty?
I have no idea. Should I be empty or full?
If it was empty, I would say you could probably make it.
They put I think they put something around 13 to go from Melbourne to Auckland, which is surprisingly low for that flight.
That is.
But then a 777 going from Melbourne to Auckland takes off with about 30 tons. 30?
Yeah, because I was going to say we do.
And they chew the fuel.
7,000 to 10,000 for a full flight.
I'm gonna say 1/3 full. Yeah, we can put the baggage. How much cargo should they take? Yeah, I'll take 2 tons of.
What is the cargo?
I don't know, bags as well as other freight. Go for 4 tons.
2 Maseratis.
Yeah, we're like half full. Half full, so I'll call a fuel truck. I'm gonna go for 13 tons just because I want the extra fuel. And for some reason, SimBrief says that your alternate, if you're flying from Cairns to Port Moresby, is Townsville, which is even further south than Cairns. So why you wouldn't just come back to Cairns, I don't know. I've made my alternate NADZAB, because that'd be interesting if I have to fly there. I'm gonna turn on constraints. What altitude am I gonna fly at today? Maybe 36,000 feet? 37,000 feet, because I'm going northeast. I think. I'm gonna do that for now. And go down here to the FM What do they call it in the Airbus? Boeing, it's an FMS. What do they call it in the Airbus? I don't know. It's YBCS/AYPY. Anyway, punch that in there. Hey, yeah, there's no company route stored. That's fine. Flight number, yeah, forget that. Gonna do a cost index of 40 because I'm in a bit of a rush. IRS, I need to put in the coordinates for that. Actually, I need to go this way. 52.4. 145, 45.2. Align on reference. Come back here, I'm going to say 370. Flight level. And this one I can't put in my weights yet because, well, it's still refueling. So, can't do that. I don't know why it's spawned me with the spoilers half out. I don't want them out. I'm going to clear the transponder. Put in some random code. I'm going to say 6526. That'll do. That'll be my transponder code for today. You probably figured out I'm not flying with ATC. Now I need to go into this flight plan and work out exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to put my departure in yet because I haven't decided what I want that to be. Next waypoint is Zany. Zany, and then from Zany, airway R210 until caps out. Only one airway for today, apparently. Hang on. Yeah, it is. It's only one airway. And then from Capso it's direct. So and clear this discontinuity. Alright, let's see. Where's my weather? Oh, come on. Active sky close itself? Loading, yep. Or is there a zany departure? Nope. No zany departure for Cairns. Show the departures. None of these departures go in the right direction.
I don't know why I'm still up.
Because you want to watch me fly across the PNG. That's why.
Because you've got nothing else
What's
to do.
this one?
You're in point.
I'm what, Mark?
I said you got nothing else to do.
I didn't even say what that one's doing.
No.
What is that route?
4 o'clock.
I'm gonna go look at this chart. So I take off. That's only available taking off to the north. Well, it works as long as I don't have to take off to the south because of wind. Is active sky starting up? This is weird. Come on. Sign in. Yep. Then there'll be a thunderclap when it signs in. There we go. I'm in again. Alright, now conditions for departure. Wind 210 at 1 knot, so I can take off to the north. Cool. Pressure tune 1013. I'm gonna switch this thing over to millibars, that's good. I'm gonna take off runway 33.
I don't
The
think
north
this
and
is
then Zany.
real time.
It's yeah, it'll be a bit delayed, probably 8 to 10 seconds delayed. Runway 33, EAZ, whatever that is. How are you supposed to say that? Manual. Go ahead and delete the manual one. Then delete the discontinuity so it goes straight to Zany. Not flying with ATC, so it'll be right like that.
That's about 4 seconds behind.
4
At least
seconds?
audio.
I thought it would be more like 8 seconds. Hey, it's finished refueling.
Alright, say something.
Something. And down here, page 2, wait request. Loaded all
Okay,
the-
now it changed it like 8 to 10 seconds. Before it was like, since I unmuted it, it was like right
Right.
there.
Yeah, I think it's probably more likely to be 8 to 10 seconds or so.
Okay, yeah, it's close to 5.
Alright. The weight is in. What else have I got to
Wait,
do?
I'm starting your screen.
Preferences, I've got to put this in. I'm going to do flaps 1 for takeoff. Flex temperature for takeoff, I'm going to say 30 maybe? How long is the runway at Cairns? Runway is
No idea.
3,196 meters. Yeah, I'm going to go for 30 degrees. Flex takeoff. Rotate and V2. V1, I'll just say 120. Because that'll do.
Look it up.
Next phase is set up. Yada yada yada. Alright. IRS is aligned. Now I can prepare for pushback. Pre-plan the pushback. Where am I gonna
You
go?
don't want to do a power back?
Nah. Prefer to keep the engines intact. And I'm gonna do an Australian pushback, so I'm actually gonna turn, Mark.
Round to cockpit. Sure, yeah, we got your plan there. Give me a call through the menu when you're ready to go.
They didn't turn at the hub, they just don't turn at my hub. So we got all these spacing left.
Far out, they didn't turn at San Francisco when we pushed. And then we did a left turn to woods and aircrafts. I don't know. I have never seen an airplane turn that short before in my life.
Yeah, we're operating to be more than 93 on certain aircraft. With CRJ series, we're allowed to do more than 98 turns, so we have to disconnect the forecast.
Oh yeah. Alright. Gonna call the
Yeah,
pushback
ground to
driver
cockpit.
over.
Toast driving up right now.
There he is. I'll wait for him to connect onto the aircraft.
Always waiting on a
Yeah, I'll turn on the fuel pump because apparently I forgot to turn on the APU bleed earlier.
Alright, all doors and hatches are closed.
And this guy
Ready to
sounds
connect?
Australian. Ready to connect. You're way too wordy on the headset. We go for 10 miles in the range for now. Bring up some charts for Cairns. Is this one my taxi information? Oh yeah, it is. That's awesome. For some reason my location... Oh, there we go. Now
Connected and
location's
bypass been
updated.
inserted. Release the parking brake when you're ready.
Yeah, release parking brake when I'm ready. I'd better turn on the beacon first because I always forget that in here. Beacon on. And... Sure, go ahead and release the parking brake.
Alright, starting the pushback, and you may spool them. Clear to start engines.
Yeah, I'm clear to start. Switch that over to start mode. I'm gonna get a 787. I want to do that twin engine start thing. Yeah.
The 777 300
Sorry, 777-300. What?
it's either the ER or the LR. One of them can.
The LR can, the ER, hang on. 777-200 can, the 777-300 can't. The 200 is generally got the LR designation on it, but...
And I just remember when we were retiring this to the Delta, there was a tech ops guy who was like, hey, anybody know the difference? And they were like, no. The ER can start both, the LR can't, or something.
I think it's probably the other way, because I know we get 300 ERs and some 200 LRs. Well, we used to before they sat them all on the ground somewhere, parked them up. But the 200s were constantly doing twin engine starts, but the 300s weren't.
What is the benefit of that? Just to minimize.
It's quicker. You start both engines at once.
Yeah. And then you just taxi away. I'm curious, do some of the airlines in Melbourne, do they always taxi with two engines, or do they sometimes come in with one?
Taxiing out, they always use two. Coming in, occasionally they'll go to one, but it's usually the Dash 8s that go to one. The Jets usually end up with both running. But occasionally you'll see one come in with one engine running, especially if they've had the run around and they've had to taxi around the entire airport because of traffic, then they'll do it.
Do what? Do one?
Yeah, shut one engine down and just taxi on the other one.
Alright, mate. Operation complete. Go ahead and set parking brake.
Yep. Fuel wear and tear on the engine.
Alright, mate. Disconnecting tows. Stand by.
They burn a lot of fuel when they're sitting there stationary, or when they're running the engines and just idling at their taxi, like they do. Okay, switch that one back. Is this back into normal mode? No, that needs to go back into normal mode. Then the air conditioner can turn on, etc.
Did you change your audio to like radio chatter?
No. There's the radio chatter from the pushback driver as I'm pushing.
My phone, it just made it sound like your mic was like
Interesting.
through like
Oh, is disconnected. Bypass pin is removed.
headset.
Thumbs up
It
on the
is
left
starting to
and,
clip a
catch
little
you
bit.
next time. Have a safe flight.
Is that better? Hang on, I think I'm just going to have to turn it down. Hold on. Turn it down here. Is that any better? There. Just turned it down a little bit.
Well, no, I didn't mind it. I was just like, man, I would all ATC for that screen.
Alright, let me bring up some charts on the screen for everybody. You can see where we're going. I need to turn on the taxi light. I should probably need to extend the stage of flap. Flaps 1 set, spoilers armed. Across here I need to set the cabin to ready. Not that button, this button. Cabin status ready. Because one more step I gotta do. Now I gotta come down here and do the takeoff check. Anything still blue? Oh, I need the auto brakes. Rejected takeoff. Signs, I need to turn on the seatbelt sign, don't I? That's
Nah.
better.
That'll be right.
Kill the mosquito. Now I've got all greens, no blue. And the APU is shutting off. And start taxiing.
Ooh, tough. This might work.
That chart on the top is a little bit big, isn't it? Be smaller. That better? Put it. Where do I put it? Here. There. Is that better with the chart? And then
Yeah.
close this one to make it a little bit less confusing. And moving taxi chart.
Need a light.
Now, do I take off from Bravo 5 or do I backtrack on the runway a little bit first?
Take off on Bravo 5.
So just don't even go on the runway, just take off across it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that would
Bravo
work
5,
at
you got
Cairns.
what?
There's too many hills around the
You
runway.
got 50 meters? That ought to be enough, right?
Yeah, for a 320. Give me 30 knots
Just
in a
do
172, it
short
might do it.
takeoff. There you go.
40 knots wind in a 172, there we go. Get 55 knots
10
wind in a
knots in an
172 and
RV-12.
you can take off like a helicopter.
There you go.
You have a nightmare taxi.
Dude, the other day, I was watching this plane take off. They were taking off downwind. And
Downwind,
it was,
interesting.
yeah.
Somebody's having wanting a bad day.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy because like for the longest time they were like, it almost looked like they were only doing like 200 feet per minute. Like that's what it looked like.
Probably were.
Yeah.
I was like the wind changed on
Well,
them or something. I
They're
don't know why they took off that way.
yeah, their angle to the ground would have been really low.
Yeah,
It's
they were like,
landing on a cliff. You start out with the tailwind and you end with the tailwind.
and I was like, what in the world? This is crazy. And he's just like straight, just flat. And then all of a sudden you see him do a little turn, and then all of a sudden he just starts shooting up.
Interesting.
Like the past 750.
I'm just gonna take off from Bravo 5. I don't want to deal with backtracking. I'm not in a 787. 787 would probably be pretty good about it. I'm not in a A380. Is that better?
You don't want to do a 3-point turn on the runway?
No. Just drag the pushback tug out there.
Approaching 3-3.
Yeah, I know, I'm approaching. I'm turning on to runway 33. Now it's going to say I'm on the runway next. Just to make sure I know what I'm doing.
On runway 3.
Yep, there
3.
it goes. Alright, lined up with the runway. Bring the power up to takeoff power. Let's go. We're doing 80 knots. 100. Rotate.
FSC flight not started.
The beauty of the 320 is that it auto trims.
That's interesting. How does it know what you want to trim for?
You pull it up, and then you set a pitch, and then it'll just trim for maintaining that.
Oh, for a pitch, not for a vertical speed.
When it's in like manual mode, it trims for a pitch. Basically, so you don't have to manually. Yeah. Oh, come on, what's going on with my throttles? That's better.
What I wouldn't have given for a auto pitch or auto trim. Like, so I check that.
I don't know if it would have helped me in a flight school, because you kind of got to learn how to use it, and then it won't correct for when you like if you set the pitch slightly wrong for what you want the plane to do, it's not going to correct for that at all.
Yeah. But as long as you know how to use that.
Yeah, seriously. What is this telling me? Running light, center tank feeding. Yeah, okay, that's all normal. Spoilers.
I never
mirage.
could figure out the RV pitch because it had an electric trim tab.
Oh yeah, and then you
felt
don't
like
get the feel.
Yeah, each notch I put, I felt like it would always overcorrect. So I put
Yeah.
up one, I'm like, okay, now I'm going too far up, and then so I took it down one. That.
Yep.
You know, and there's a delay, so you gotta wait. You can't actually feel it.
Get another flyby view.
I'll be back. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm over water now, so I can turn the terrain off of the nav display. Why is my transponder giving me this TA only thing? I've never figured out how to fix that. And here it is it's in threat mode. It's in TARA mode. Why is it? I don't know how to fix this. It'll survive. 10,000 feet I can turn off the landing lights. And probably let people stand up. Fuel prediction. Ending up with 10 tons of fuel on board, so it's only predicting to burn 3 tons of fuel. Oh yeah, I gotta set the QNH to standard as well. And not QFE, I need standard. That's better. Because QNH goes to standard at 10,000 feet in Australia, not 18,000 feet like America. You still in the chat, or is I just talking to myself now? I think I'm just talking to myself. Flight level 21 or 220 or 370.
Still here?
Hey, there you are.
Ah. It seems like, I guess my voice stopped working. I came back in here and I disconnected, reconnected.
Yeah, it was odd
Abe
because
went to
it.
bed?
Well, he said he'd be back. I don't know what he's doing.
No.
It was weird. It showed your microphone was just active, but you weren't. Like I couldn't hear anything, so
Everything.
I don't know. Decided to glitch out.
I guess so.
UTC 0154, but that's in simulator time. What's it? It's expecting an hour. Pretty much. That'll be alright. 1 hour flight.
Vader doesn't use real-time UTC.
It can, but I've told it to fly in the daytime because I don't. Flying at night's a little bit boring.
Ah. Yeah.
Try and get a flyby view, and you just see a couple flashing lights, and that's it.
But you're still using real-time weather?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you've got nighttime weather, but in the daytime.
Correct.
Must be smooth air.
It is so far. Till you get like the nighttime thunderstorms that you get over the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Don't think I'll run into them between Australia and PNG, but who knows? How's the pressurization doing? Yeah, pressurization's fine. 5,200. Nobody's about to pass out.
That's what I look for in my airline. I choose my airline based on my weather.
So do you choose your plane based off of what altitude the cabin is? Getting the Dreamliner just because it's a
I
lower
wish.
cabin altitude?
We don't fly the Dreamliner.
You don't?
No, Delta only has, well, now they only have A350s. We just retired all of our 777.
Interesting. United brought a Dreamliner into Melbourne again yesterday. First time I've seen it since March.
Was it charter?
Yeah, freight, I think.
Right?
I think they're doing something similar to what Air New Zealand is doing, and they're sending empty planes with freight underbelly.
We're doing that, but we even converted our cargo or our passenger plane into a big plane.
Oh yeah. And then you have to manually carry it in through the door and spend 5 hours loading and unloading it.
And then you still gotta have flight attendants on there to be firefighters.
That's interesting. New Zealand's not carrying flight attendants on the freighter flights usually, unless they're going to take passengers out, because they sometimes fly in a freighter and then take passengers. But usually the freighters just have the pilots on board, so you have to wait for the pilots to go back to open the door. And they can't turn the beacon off until they've gone back and disarmed the doors, so sometimes it takes a little while. still cleaning the fish tank, or?
Yep. I'm just
Nice.
finishing the filter now. I cleaned the tank, now I'm putting back the filter into the tank.
Fair enough. So the fish are just hanging out in a bowl or something.
No, they're hanging out in the tank. I already cleaned the tank, I'm just doing that.
Oh, okay.
So I took it off the back. It's just weird with white buildup.
Chlorine? Or calcium? I don't know.
Maybe calcium.
I'm not an expert on these things.
I don't know what is in the water that city water, so you know what strange chemicals they put in that fish. To make me more obedient.
Mind control water.
I always joke with my friends. They're like, "Oh, you work at the airport?" And they're like, "Are you almost off work yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just gotta shred the chemtrail files. I'll be back."
How'd that
And
go
they're like,
over?
"What?" And they're like, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that."
Yeah, you are a character. Conspiracy theorist over here.
Yep. I even sent a video to one of my friends. They were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just at work." And they're like, "Oh, that's cool. So, like, what does that entail?" And so I sent him a picture I was shredding from something else or whatever. And I was like, "Yep, just shredding the chem files." And they were like, "What?" Yeah, the chemicals that we put in the plane for the chemtrails. I'm just shredding the paperwork on that.
It's funny. I had to explain to someone once how the lost and found for one airline was a different airline's desk because it was the same ground handler that did them, and the one airline didn't actually have a lost and found area, so they just put it in the other airline's desk. It was trippy. You tell them to go to the other airline, they're like, "What? Why would they have it?"
Yeah, that happens at Eugene all the time. Except ironically, it's all the passengers come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I lost this item on United and I need to get it back." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I work for Delta." And they're like, "You're not all the same." I was like, no, we're not all the same.
No, I haven't had that one.
I think it's a combination of the people who the older people back in the day when we were all the same. We were all SkyWest.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
After that, we were all DGS, so they remember us all being the same.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the other peoples just assume that because we're a small airport, we must all be the same.
Yeah, fair enough. You're like Hobart or Gold Coast Airport, where we do everything.
Yeah.
Melbourne, we don't do everything now.
I missed a bunch of spots on this filter, and I already put everything back in it.
You can't miss spots, and then the poor fishies will really get mind controlled.
I don't want my fish being mind controlled. They'll sell me out to the communists.
I'll just make them jump out of the water and chase you out of the house.
Yeah, they just might get the ability to get out. They'll be given genetic enhancements.
Yeah, just start writing Maggie Noodles all over your counter.
Alright, let's see here. Back over there. Oh, I should probably put the power cord in first.
put the power cord in before you put it in the water.
I put the power cord down behind the tank before I lift the whole filter over the water.
I see.
Okay, now I need to fill it with water before I turn it on.
Fair enough.
Oh, also I should move all this ductwork to the other side of the tank before I turn it on, otherwise it's all just going to get sucked in.
Fair enough.
Where's my net?
Now, what kind of approach do I want?
Vertical?
The vertical, so just forget about the horizontal part of it.
Yeah, nobody needs ground speed.
What is the wind in Port Moresby? Safe to assume it's almost nothing. Oh wow, it's not.
200 knots.
030 at 8 knots. There's actually wind.
Ooh, in Port Moresby?
It's more than Cairns had. Cairns had 1 knot.
Does Port Moresby not usually have a coastal wind?
I guess it would. 030. 030, that wouldn't be coastal wind at this time of night, would it?
I don't know.
But then this time of night, Moresby would also be subject to the mountain winds. What was that called again? The cat something winds.
Cat 3?
Core cats come down at night, so it's cat something, but
Category 4 hurricane.
it's called a cyclone in this part of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Category 4 cyclone.
Actually, what are the categories of a cyclone? Do they have the same categories, or are they... I don't know.
Well, it's the same weather phenomenon, it's just different names, so I would assume as much.
You would
Maybe
assume, but...
You know what they say about assuming.
So it's a 3... 3, so we'll be landing 3-2. That's alright, that's actually good for me. That's the way I want to land. I'm gonna go for the ILS. That is not the approach that I want. ILS. This one? What? Yeah, there we go. Arrivals, there are no star procedures for this airport. Okay then. So I guess
You
we're
remember
just
all those
doing...
wildfires up here? And all that smoke?
Yeah.
For all of that, we were doing construction here, which meant our ILS was not operating.
Yeah, and then that's why you couldn't have any aircraft in, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Well, we could have some every now and then, but
Add that into the route.
not
Now
for the most part.
load that flight arrival into... It's not an arrival, it's the ILS. Load that approach into this... I want to say FMS, but I'm sure that's Boeing terminology. ILS 32 right, that one. Via... Was it ISO? ISLOC. Insert that. There is a discontinuity, yada yada. I will get rid of the discontinuity so it flies straight to the approach. Insert that. Temper descent.
There we go. Now they've got their waterfall back.
Shortly after
We need them a little
capstone.
bit more water.
I'm gonna go in here and set up the information for the approach in here, speeds and whatnot as well. So this is wind 30/8. QNH was 1010. Not 01, 1010. There we go. Put that in the Q&A.
What are you doing, binary?
Temperature is 26 degrees. Good old Moresby temperatures. It's probably a similar temperature to what it is for me.
Not up here.
What do you got?
Well, here in my room, I'm at a comfortable 24, but let's see what it is.
That better be Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I'm at a comfortable 24 Fahrenheit. You know, just chilling in my room.
Or it better not be Kelvin either.
Outside it's 9 degrees, which actually is warmer than it has been the past 2 days.
9 degrees. 9
Past 2
degrees
days
is
it's been getting below
cool,
zero.
but oh yeah, just enough to freeze your car up and make you whinge, and not being cold enough to be fun yet.
Enough to snow.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's pretty much all Oregon is. It never actually snows here unless you go.
And you're trying to convince me to move there, and now you're telling me that the weather there is just the same as what it is here. It gets cold enough to get miserable, but not cold enough to get
You
fun.
visit me in the valley, but you live over in Bend.
Why don't you just live in the mountains as well? We can both get a house at 12,000 feet.
12,000 feet. You want to move to Denver?
Every time somebody comes to
Rocky
visit us, they'll get motion sickness or altitude sickness, whatever it is.
There we go.
And we'll have to have a turbocharged
we-
aircraft just to fly.
I was gonna say, every time we try to take off our plane, we gotta wait until there's snow on the ground. Gotta get it cold enough just to be able to take off. And we just clip the trees until we get over the mountain, and then we dive. There we go. Is that enough water? Should I put in a little bit more? Add a little bit more.
Where did this guy go? He said he'd be back. He hasn't come back yet. Oh well.
Probably fell asleep.
Probably. It is like 5 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2:30 for me. Oh, you know what? I never fed my fishes. I've been cleaning their tank this whole time, and I never even fed them.
So the whole time they're sitting there going, "Why are you cleaning it up? I want food."
That's alright, I'll give them some bloodworms. You still got the Klingon bird of prey for FSX?
Oh, I have it somewhere. I haven't flown in FSX in ages.
How hard would it be to convert it for FS 2020?
Not sure. FS 2020 is a bit of a different sim. There's a bit of work involved. I haven't made aircraft, so I don't quite know exactly what's involved. It'd be easy to put it into prepared. Should be fairly easy to put it into prepared.
I saw a video a guy went into the files for a Cessna 150 in FS 2020.
Yeah.
And he said it was really easy. He could just change the stacks for the engine. So he gave it like 4,000 horsepower
Haha.
and like 6 million torque.
Yeah, you could do
And
that
tried
in
to
the
fly it.
FSX as well. And FS 2004. That's how I got my Batwing Sensible. I added a second engine because it wasn't powerful enough.
There you go.
And then it was too powerful, like you couldn't taxi. You just had to take off.
Just like whoop. Alright, there you go, fish cheese. Enjoy.
Yay, we finally got some food.
How does the thermometer float to the back? I gotta retrieve it from the back.
And this is why I don't have fish.
Why don't you change fish? Because you don't want to clean their tank?
Correct.
Telling me you don't get a cat because you don't want to change out its litter box?
I don't have a cat either. I want one, but I don't have one.
No, that's sad. If you came over here, you could have a cat.
Yeah, the grey one.
No,
That looked black in that picture.
She'll murder you.
I'm bigger than it.
That's true. Where did my towel go? Now that the fish tank is down, I need to hear my hand. It's hard to do. I don't have a towel. Oof. I'm getting a headache. I need to get something to do.
Getting a headache, that's not good.
It's just because I'm dehydrated. I haven't drank any water all day.
You gotta go. You gotta drink the whole reservoir.
Exactly.
Well, that's the other thing you guys have that we don't. Root beer.
Yeah, but most Australians
And cream
say it tastes
soda and anything like
medicine.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get back at you by having solo though.
That's true. I could go for a solo.
But
right
it's
now.
like one soft drink versus 500 others that you have.
That's true, but most Australians I know don't like those drinks. They say it tastes like medicine.
Solo?
No, root beer. Dr.
Root
Pepper,
beer?
cream
How
soda.
can you not like root beer? It's awesome.
Exactly.
And cream
How about
soda is
I'll
just
send you a
even
case of
sweeter.
root beer, and then you send me a case of solo. Oh, and Sprite Ice.
Oh yeah. You don't have
We
Sprite?
still have Sprite Ice.
Sprite
We
Ice.
have Sprite, we just don't have Sprite Ice.
Do we? I haven't seen that. I don't
No,
think
we
I've
have
ever
it
had
in
it, so I don't know.
Guineas.
Don't entirely know what I'd be looking for.
It's kind of a white can. A whitish can.
Interesting.
You think they'd let me just send a case on one of those cargo flights in United?
You shove it in the bowl.
Say, oh yeah, one of my guys on the ramp will figure it out.
You gotta make friends with the pilots, and then if they're happy to, they can put it in their overnight bag.
I thought that. Sweet.
That saves you on postage, but they're still gotta declare it and whatnot.
And it's not terrible.
That's weird. This plane says Sarah on it. The real plane doesn't say Sarah on it. I think it says Sarah. I'm gonna have to look at it again. Zoom in a little bit closer on it. No, I can't zoom in. Hang on. Zoom in on it. Yeah, it says Sarah. I wonder if the real plane actually said Sarah on it at one point. It doesn't say Sarah on it when I dealt with it. How far till top of descent? Still got a ways to go. We're descending after Capsa, there we go. Haha, aye, Captain's lurking. Hello.
Ever played a game called Harvester?
Oh, I've played that back in the day.
Do you like it at all?
Yeah, I did for a bit. I never got into it as much as you did, though.
There's a similar one. That's why I asked. That I just recently found called Started Round. It's like different.
Interesting.
You can get it on the PC.
Might have to have a look at it. I'm having too much fun with Rocket League and Train Sim World and Flight Simulator now.
This one costs money too, so
Yeah, I'll probably save my money for Flight Simulators then. It's funny what the other streamers that I've been hanging out with. He's streaming at the moment, but he also jumped into my one, just sitting there watching it. We both are in each other's one, but we don't have sound on because, well, we're streaming, we can't really have sound on with someone else's and they get distracting.
yeah.
If you do a dual stream, you can have both sounds on, but the engine sounds would clash with each other.
True.
We're both in 320s as well, actually. If he's in the one I was gonna fly, the fly-by-wire Microsoft Flight Simulator one. But then, because I had to do an update, then I got into the Flight Factor one, which is more detailed. I was gonna compare the other one, see how it is. I'll try and do that sometime. At least this gives me a little bit more experience with this one to try and remember all of its functionality, because it's my problem last time I tried the other one was that I hadn't flown this one for a couple months, so I didn't quite remember exactly how everything was supposed to go to know what the other one was imitating, where it was not quite right where it was right.
I scored. Whoa. When you're up in the air, I'm traveling sideways. I hit B and it gave me a flip. Aquadome. I don't think I've ever played in that.
Aquadome. You got like, it's weird, there's water underneath it and water all around it. You have to try Heat Seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta do Heat Seeker 1v1. I reckon that'd be interesting. It's a very different game mode. If you're not in bed by the time I land, then I might jump on with you and we can do our Heat Seeker 1v1.
My own teammate hit it away from me.
Sounds like I'm your teammate.
We're only 30 seconds in and we're down by 2 points.
Wow. Really does sound like I'm your teammate.
Can you imagine if Rocket League matches were as long as regular soccer matches?
Soccer would be a whole lot more interesting. And that's going to make a lot of great friends who love soccer, and then, you know what I'm saying, it's boring.
Oh man, we almost got it. That would have been an epic shot if I'd made it. But I barely missed.
Have you
Man.
practiced flying much?
A little bit. It's pretty difficult.
It is pretty difficult. When you use the boost, do you hold it or do you tap it?
If you're trying to hover, you tap it, but normally
Yeah.
I hold it.
Yeah, I've found it a lot better, at least for me, I've found it a lot more controlling if I just tap it, and then it also lasts longer. Haven't exactly hovered very much though. Usually try and jump for it, but I've missed predicting where it's going to be, so then I just miss.
Oh no!
I'm going to be coming up on top of descent soon. Better bring up the... Hey, is there a chart for this ILS? Open chart list.
There better be.
Interesting, suppose it is not. Approach. ILS. Runway 32 and right. Procedure A or procedure B? Procedure B, because I'm coming with this Isla. It's an interesting way of doing it. Instead of saying the transition, they're doing, or just putting multiples on one like the Australian charts. So I got to be 4,000 at Islok and then going down to 2,000 before 6 miles away from the airport, and then I'm intercepting at 6 miles away from the airport. Tracking 322 towards the airport. Minimums 450 feet, 322 feet above the ground. I put that into here. This next phase, so the approach. MDA. No, this is the DA. decision altitude, decision height, 450 feet. 4, 5, 0. Bang, it's in now. That'll tell me when I'm getting to my decision altitude. Missed approach, climb 322, dead reckoning, track 2. Yeah, dead reckoning, climb 2,500 before, left turn, test them, yeah. Incline cross test them at 4,000, or as instructed by ATC. Now the ILS frequency,
Oh.
109.5. I'll make sure that's tuned up. 109.5, course 322. This is the Airbus, so that's already set. Oh. Too steep a path. That's going to be interesting. It's saying too steep a path from my initial approach to where I've got to intercept. But from the look of the angle down here, I'll be right. I could. Yeah, I'll make it work. The lowest safe altitudes, if I have to go to the north of the field, is 8,000 foot lowest safe. So I'm not going that way. I'll turn left if I have to. Given the left would be across the other approach path, but there's no other aircraft here, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to fly the published miss approach anyway. Let the plane figure everything out. Yeah. Go ahead and overlay that on the map. As this and that. Go back to my aircraft. We're not at top of descent yet. What's that saying? 82 miles to top of descent. Interesting. That's a little ways. Wait, no, that's not. Looking at the top of descent indicator on my map here. I'm only like 5 miles from top of descent.
13 seconds to go.
You can do it. Only like 5 miles from top of descent, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn these down to 2,000 feet.
Oh man, now we're in overtime.
You can do it. Get that kickoff goal.
Oh no, they got the kickoff goal. They literally
What?
got it. It went straight up in the air, and it bounced off the ceiling and went straight into our goal.
Aww.
Ridiculous.
2,000, and I'm gonna do. I want open descent. I want yes, normal descent. Good plane. I started my descent. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the passengers, get all the passengers to sit down, and get the crew.
I actually made 3 of those. I made 3 shots on the goal. And scored one of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and 3 shots on goal and scored one. Interesting. That's annoying. I've armed the spoilers. And just wait for what 10,000 feet, and then I can.
Please don't spoil it.
Then I can go back to
Oh my bad.
1010 QNH and turn on landing lights and everything. Yeah, I think I must have gone to sleep.
I guess so. I wish I could link my headphones to my phone and to my Switch at some point.
Yeah.
Wow. He almost made a goal.
You're gonna have to try it on PC.
It's true.
Is your Switch not telling you when I send you a party invite? Because I find it funny every time I send you a party invite, you then send me one.
It sort of does, but it's in a weird spot, so I have to look for it kind of. And
Fair
usually
enough.
by that time I've already sent my own.
Okay, fair enough.
Dang it.
You should get it on a PC.
I should go get it on.
So someone, one of the YouTubers made a map for Rocket League on the PC. It's a tennis map. It's with the heat seeker mode. They put just a wall in the middle, so you gotta hit it over the wall like tennis. And that one's interesting to watch because the ball goes crazy on it sometimes. I don't think I've ever landed this plane in PNG yet. I've landed a 737 in Port Moresby a couple times. Don't think I've ever brought the 320 in. Should be fun. I think I'll probably let it do an auto land just so I've got the idea of what it should do, because I know the other one isn't doing auto lands at the moment. But I might change over to manual at the end, depends how I feel.
Did you know that Air Niugini has a, I think it's a 767?
They've got a 757
No, a 767.
and 67. The mini 777. That's what it looks like. It's like a little 777. And the holds are low enough you can open them without using cargo stairs.
Mm-hmm.
That was not fun when we worked on one of those. Not that we did much. Brought it in, did water waste, pushed it back out again once it had refueled and sent it on its way. Tell you, it was spectacular watching that land in the wet though, because it was lower than the 777. So the spray that it kicked up in the water was, I don't know, just something about the way it was hitting the fuselage and then spraying out that it doesn't do on the higher planes. It's very spectacular to me. And I'm passing 20,000 feet.
Don't forget to make your announcements.
And the announcements. Sit down, everyone. We're about to
Began
land.
our initial descent into the Fort Moresby Airport. Please take a brace for impact.
There'll be a bit of turbulence as we fly through a little bit of cloud. Should be fairly smooth though, because smooth air. Be a little bit of turbulence before we actually touch down, because you go from water to land. What else? Make sure you drink your water, because when you step out of the plane, it's going to be like walking into an oven. That good enough?
Yep. Man, I would have got that one, but that guy bumped me.
Right, I'm going to get back into the cockpit view. This plane doesn't have the PA announcement buttons. Some of the other ones do. I am flying through the clouds. 15,000 feet, or flight level 150. What's the other brake setting gonna be? I'm gonna go for medium. Whatever brake. I think. Yeah, brake fan can stay off for now. I don't need to turn it on after I land. No, that wants to be on non-standard setting. Interesting. Come on, get me off of standard. There we go. Now I go to 1010 because that's the QNH. Make sure that's still the same. Yep, that's still the same. Sorry?
And we're tied up. Oh man, we almost had it too. Overtime again.
No, 320 knots. Interesting. I'm probably going to need spoilers soon to slow down. What's that? 320 knots. Yeah, that's it. 330, 320.
That guy helped turn me around. That was nice. Not sure it was intentional, but helpful nonetheless. Ooh, that's close. Too close for comfort. No. Man, that's the second time we've gone into overtime and then lost.
Sounds pretty evenly matched. You playing in ranked or casual?
Ranked.
Ooh. What's your rank?
I've only ever beat. I have no idea. I don't even know where to see that.
I haven't played ranked yet. I'm still level 9 now though.
Bronze 2.
Oh yeah. Cool.
I've only won one ranked match.
I gotta try. We should join a team because then we can pass it to each other.
That's true.
Although I'm not exactly all that great at it, as Walter can say. But every time I try and pass it to him, and it's just like I end up driving around the ball.
Yeah.
Occasionally I manage to set it up for myself, but then it's like, yeah. plane's flying itself down to... Oh, I'm below 10,000 feet. I'm used to the Boeing where having the co-pilot program, so it tells you that it's passing 10,000
so
feet.
Close. The autopilot doesn't tell you when you're passing 10,000?
Well, on the Zebo 737, I think it's the co-pilot. They've just got a co-pilot recording, just as like 10,000 feet. For some reason, the flight factor A320 doesn't tell me when I'm coming down through 10,000 feet. Relies on me being an astute pilot and actually looking at what I'm the altitude I'm at.
How much of Rocket League is just driving around in circles trying to get a good angle at the ball?
Quite a bit for me. Okay, so we're coming up on Zuluak now. It'll be 210 knots and 4,000 feet at Zuluak. Let me go ahead and turn landing system display on so I can see when the ILS... It is receiving the ILS signal because I'm 25 miles from the airport, or from the ILS. The threshold. Okay, it has slowed down, so I don't need the spoilers.
But we could use them anyway, just for fun.
I'll probably need them coming up. And the predictions are open. Now everyone can get their predictions in. Not that there's really very many people watching. Here we go with my
What are they
standard.
predicting?
200. They're predicting my landing speed.
Oh.
My landing feet per minute.
Ooh, that was a close one. Oh man, these guys are so close.
Yeah. You're going into overtime again, are you?
It might be. No, neither of us have scored.
Haha.
We're already
Overtime,
only got a minute
here you
and a half
go.
left. But they've had it close to our goal for almost the whole time.
Wow. I'm gonna zoom in to 10 miles.
Ooh, no.
Nav display.
Oh. They just scored. Now we've only got a minute to get it back.
Got a minute to get it back.
Can't
You can
knock
do
on
it.
the door. Try to
We
get it.
1v1'd in drift mode,
Oh
so.
no! No! Oh, now they have 2 points ahead. Oh,
Aw.
it took them 10 seconds to get the second one. There you go, cat.
The cat wants to play Rocket League. Go ahead and extend flaps 1. That's just extended the slats 1 instead of flaps 1.
No, man.
Go ahead and arm the approach phase now.
The entire match was just us being neck and neck, and then all of a sudden, these last 30 seconds, we've got 3 points.
Let's see, it is turning onto the localizer now. The glide slope is armed. Oh, there we go. More drag it's requesting. Gear can come down. Got a warning about the flaps. Should have waited and extended those when they slow down without spoilers. Well, now you're speeding up the engines just as I extend the spoilers. Come on, slow down. Why is it still doing 210 knots? What happens is, you go ahead, activate the approach phase. Slow down.
Oh man.
So
If I had hit
plane,
that ball, I think I would have made it.
glide slope is active, localizer is active. Alright, I'll go ahead and activate the second autopilot. Now it's saying Cat 3 dual. Both autopilots are running, so it would land. Well, I'll let it do its auto landing. Go through the whole process. So as we're coming up to the runway, it'll switch into flare and then land mode. Go for flaps 3. Alright, let's approach into Moresby.
2,500.
2,500.
6,500.
No, I need a... Yeah, good, the spoilers are armed. Too bad if I didn't rearm them again. I have green lights, but I do need to go to full... Well, green checklist, but I do need to go to full flap still. Gradually
50.
slowing down, passing 2,000 feet.
30, 20, retard, retard.
Oh, wow. You're trying to throw me off. No,
Terrain, terrain. Pull up, pull up.
Shoot, I
Terrain,
will turn on the
terrain.
terrain, thank you.
Pull up, pull up.
And I'll go for
Too
full
low,
flaps.
too low, gear down. Too low, gear down.
We are stabilized. Missed approach altitude is 2,500. I'll set that. So if I have to go around, it can automatically do it. Now, all green, no blue. I've got 2 whites, 2 reds on the glide slope. And on speed, stabilized.
I'm not very good at this train.
1,000.
1,000 feet.
Whoa, I just completely missed the ball.
Approaching 3, 2, right.
Approaching 3-2 right, okay.
How do you miss a completely stationary ball?
Alright.
100 above.
100 above minimums.
500.
Assumed altitude.
Minimum.
Continue. Landing.
400.
It's going into land mode.
300.
But it will do the auto land by itself.
200.
200.
100.
100. 50 foot across the
50,
threshold.
40, 30,
20,
20,
10.
10. Retard.
Retard. There it is.
Retard. 5.
And it touches down. 213 feet a minute. Reverse thrust
Wait a
set.
minute. Oh, okay.
What? What were you about to say?
Nothing. I thought that one of them might have scored on themselves.
Ah, that's funny.
He was actually my teammate.
And I'm down. I've turned on the brake fans because the brakes are at, what's that? 240 degrees Celsius.
Is that the air temperature right now?
That's the brakes. Brake fans are on. Oh, speaking of brakes, yesterday Dreamliner came in. It was funny because the rear left brake, it was obviously gotten hot. There was a tiny bit of smoke come off it.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the time we had a plane come in and the brake line, the brake
Approaching.
hydraulic line
3, 2, left.
broke when it was in the gate, so we had just brought it in.
Far out.
And then all of a sudden it started smoking. The brakes were just smoking like crazy. And so we thought, oh no, brakes. So we told the pilot, and he came down or whatever,
Yeah.
and he looked at it, and it had kind of stopped smoking. And so,
Yeah.
fortunately, that flight had come in it was actually replacing a plane that was already delayed, that had been taken out of service for maintenance. And so
Yeah.
it had the mechanic that was supposed to work on the other plane on. And so we grabbed him,
Check the flap.
and we had him look at that one, and he said, oh yeah, the hydraulic thing just broke. And the fluid leaked onto the hot brakes, and it smoked. But it's fine. So he went over to the other plane, and he took the
piece off it.
parts off of it and put it on the other one. So they cannibalized the broken plane.
Fix the
So
replacement.
they could make one working plane.
That's funny. Go ahead and turn off taxi lights so I don't blind the ramp agents when I taxi in.
Really? You're going to be that considerate?
Yeah. And of course I forgot to turn on the APU, didn't I? That's going to take a while. Good, it's starting. And stop there. Set the parking brake. And now I gotta wait for this APU to start because I forgot to turn it on. I can go ahead and shut off one engine. Wait for the APU to start before I shut off the other engine. Next bleed, yeah. It's giving me the emergency checklist for one engine failure, but it's all good. I'm waiting for the APU to say it's available. There it is, it's available now. APU bleed on. Open up the cross.
No.
Bleed for the bleed system. Shut off the second engine. And it's spooled down. I can turn off the beacon light. I'm gonna go back to the brakes page because I think it's wheels page? Wheel. There we go, brake page. Still 190 degrees Celsius. Let them cool down. Alright. Up. Now there's a flight from Cairns to Port Moresby in a A320 flight factor.